Hello, Merry Meet. I wanted to discuss a topic with crystal healing. And it's basically giving my 2 cents to a debate that often rages within the rock healing community, if you want to call it that. And basically that is, whatever or not rose quartz is a good idea to use to block the negative radiation, if you want, from screens, computer screens. Excellent, I have lots of computer screens, especially when my computer does not work, then I scream a lot at it. Anyway, computer screens, TV screens, mobile phones, and so on and so forth. Now, a lot of people who use crystal healing advocate using rose quartz as a way to absorb these negative radiations and help protect you. While others say that no, quartz, whatever that be, rock crystal, amethyst, pink quartz, IQA, rose quartz, and so on, they strengthen energy that are sent towards it, so that all you get is more of the harmful energies. And basically, which one do I believe? Because basically those are polar opposites. That's those that say this is very good to help protect you, and the others say you are making the problem worse. And let me first start by saying there's no scientific proof that any of this works. As basically, scientifically, the radiation that comes from screens and so on, it doesn't matter if you have a stone there or not. As far as I know, as far as I read, it doesn't affect that whatsoever, so it has to do with it on the metaphysical level. And do it work or not? Well, I can see a point to both arguments, because it's definitely a thing that is considered a fact within crystal healing, crystal magic, that quartz amplifies. That, for example, if you put a rock crystal along with other crystals, that will amplify the effect of said crystals. That if you use quartz within magic, it will amplify the energy you send to it. And as such, logically, it would say that all energies that might come from screens and so on and so forth will also be amplified when it's hitting this stone and so on and so forth. On the other hand, rose quartz also have a lot of protective purposes and are also used to protect homes. And as such, since it is used to protect homes, it do then deflect negative energies. So which one do I feel like? Well, like I said, there are good arguments that it do deflect these energies, because it can be used to protect homes, and it can be used to protect your person from negative energies. But at the same time, I would say that there are a lot of arguments that say that yes, it do amplify energies, and since it's energies you're trying to deflect, it can make the problem worse. In my personal experience, I would say that when I put a rose quartz close to the TV, I get less tired in my eyes when watching TV for a long period of time than I do when I don't have a rose quartz there. But of course, that can be a placebo, because I know that the rose quartz is there, so I expect to be less tired. And also, I should use glasses, it's just that I have a tendency to not use them. And so my eyes do get very tired when looking, especially at a screen for a long period of time. One of the reasons why I don't really like to read ebooks, because focusing on a screen, yeah. But, getting off topic, basically, it sort of helps with eye fatigue. But of course, that could also be explained that the healing properties of rose quartz, if you're going to look at this from a metaphysical level. So what do I recommend? I think it's really up to the individual what makes most sense to you. I would say that in either case, you should cleanse a stone that you're using there, because a lot of people just plop a rose quartz near their computer. Yes, mom, I'm looking at you. They just plop a chunk of rose quartz near their computer screen or TV screen, and it just sits there forever till it's covered in dust, until it looks like a little hamster, because it's so covered by dust, because it's never been taken off, it's never been cleaned. Cleanse that sometimes, because all of those energies that it gets into contact with by that screen will affect the stone. And I mean, for example, for me that really loves horror movies, do the energies of that affect the stones? Yeah, it does. So I would say definitely cleanse it. Whatever or not you use rose quartz or not, cleanse it. And I would say that it's also important that if you're going to use quartz, to program it. Now, program it would be to basically give the stone an intent instead of just plopping it down. So I guess my point here is that I don't know. This is not a topic where I can say completely sure this is how it is. The way I feel it is that the rose quartz have a lot of protective properties, and as such is completely safe to use to protect you from the radiation from screens, and I mean here in the metaphysical level. But that you can't just plop it down, because then you can get the amplifying effect of quartz instead of the protective effect, so that you should program the stone before using it. Now, how do you program the stone? I would make it very simple by, after I've cleansed the stone, I would hold the stone in my hand and I would say something like this. I pray to the universe and all good energies that this stone be given the purpose to protect me from all negative radiation and energy that comes from this apparatus, while focusing on that purpose. And then just repeating that, let's say cleanse it once a month or so. And then just repeat that once you cleanse it, because then you've given the stone a intention. And then I think that the protective properties of this stone should kick in and help you and basically absorb and deflect anything negative that comes from the screen, instead of amplifying it. Now you might ask, why do I feel that it can have an effect, even if it doesn't really, even if science can't measure it? Plop up rose quartz down and they measure things, it won't really affect that whatsoever. Because I feel that this radiation from screens affect us on an energetic level, not just on a physical level. That it will not so much protect us from whatever physical effect closeness to a screen can have, but that it will protect us from the effect it has on our energy bodies. But of course, that's my belief. It's not necessarily your belief. So I believe that if you're going to use quartz for something like that, you have to program it. So, are there some alternatives to quartz? For example, in the Metatronic system, they use pyrite to protect you from screens. The Metatronic systems are one of those systems that advocate against quartz, and they use pyrite. They also believe they use other crystals that has iron ore in it. So basically, a stone with iron ore can also protect you. But that, I know it's pyrite. I'm not extremely familiar with the Metatronic system of crystal healing, but I know they use that. So that can definitely be used as an alternative to quartz. But I say that you should do the same thing there as you will with rose quartz. You should cleanse it and program it, basically tell the stone what to do before you use it. Other stones I would say is very protective, that are very good to use for things like that, are for example hematite, because hematite is a very earthing and very protective stone, so that hematite can then take those energies that the screen sends out and earth them, which can be very beneficial. So I would recommend pyrite stones with iron ore, or hematite, and hematite is a stone with iron in it. So yeah, we have that theme there. And like I said, cleanse them, program them, then use them. So yeah, I guess that my answer is I think that quartz can work very well, but I believe that to avoid it having that effect of amplifying, you should tell it what to do, because a lot of stones have several things it can do, and you should then focus the energies towards the goal you want to use it for. And also, do not just forget the stone there. Repeat the cleansing and programming every month or so. And yeah, so how big do you need it to be? Well, I generally use those clumps of rose quartz for the television. I mean, you know, you get those clumps of unpolished rose quartz. I didn't bring one here to show you, but you know those, basically just a rock of rose quartz, and they're not very expensive. And I mean, rock this big or so, I feel works very well. But I feel that the size is not as important as your intent in using the stone. Because while I do believe that the bigger a stone is, the greater energy it gives, I also believe that your intent in placing it and using it plays a very big part. For a phone, for example, I would say that just gluing a small piece of rose quartz, or one of the other stones if you prefer to use that, onto the back of your phone or onto the back of a phone case should work. And the same with your computer, just putting on the back, or just if you have a broken external webcam, for example, you can just take off that broken webcam and you just glue a piece of rose quartz or whatever stone you want to use on that, and you can just clip it onto your computer just like you would a webcam. And there you have it. So yeah, I say quartz works, but if you feel like you want to be on the safe side, pyrite and hematite and other stones with heavy deal of iron in it is good alternatives. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Oh yeah, one more thing before I end this video, yes, that I just have to mention. I am going to be more strict about removing offensive and abusive posts that are posted on my videos. So by all means disagree with me. If you think that what I say is the most stupid thing you ever heard, by all means say that, disagree with me. Say I think that you are completely out and picking berries now. Here is what I believe it is. I think that you are completely 100% wrong. By all means, I would never remove a post that just says that, because I welcome other opinions, because I'm definitely not an expert and I want to learn, and I also feel that it's healthy to disagree with one another. But what I will remove are posts that are either just trolling, that just post up on you're ugly, or something like that. You're gay. I'm bisexual, actually. Not that it would matter if I were gay or not, but yeah, I think my husband would then feel a bit lonely, but yeah. Or something like that has nothing to do with the video, will be removed. Other things that will be removed is that if you disagree and can't do it in a polite manner, it will be removed. If you just can't handle somebody disagreeing with you and you just start throwing insults, that will be removed. So if you're gonna post anything, do it in a reasonably polite manner. Come on, people. We're all adults. We should be able to hold a conversation even when we disagree with one another at an adult level. So yeah, I just wanted to get that message out there. So if you have posted something that's just thrown out in insults and you can't find your post, it's because I have removed it. But please do feel free to rephrase your comment. And I'm not asking you to agree with me, I would never do that. I am asking you to basically respect other posters, and also don't be an asshat, basically. Disagree in an adult manner. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Have a great day, and blessed be.